shopping mall. So in this shopping mall, there are different showrooms in this shopping mall. So one showroom, maybe some certain brand, what they do is they implement BLE technology, and then whenever you are passing by, and in your mobile, if your Bluetooth is turned on, then a pop-up message will appear on your mobile. So this is something like advertisement or broadcasting or sharing information or pushing notifications. So it's not only applicable for certain case scenarios, but we can build different case scenarios, for example in hospital or in universities. Or in laboratories, or in small covered areas, we can provide BLE solutions. But however, we see here for the Bluetooth can cover various industries, and under various industries, type depending on type of application or type of scenario considerations, we can develop the product module, and then we can have an application that will be connecting to this Bluetooth to provide necessary results out of it. So this is where the Bluetooth is benefiting in many different applications. Then Zigbee. Mostly Zigbee is mostly used in smart home applications, and also sometimes Zigbee is also used in outdoor applications. For example, street lighting. Street lighting, because whenever they have to implement smart street lighting, rather than implementing a huge infrastructure with telecom network infrastructure or private network infrastructure, some countries what they do is they implement Zigbee modules, because Zigbee module will also work as hopping concept with hopping technologies. So what it does is, like, the data it collects from the street lights, it transfers to the second street light. Then this is where the hopping is done, and at one unified place, maybe like 100 street lights or 200 street lights, that all the data is collected for that line, and then this data will be transferred to the central location through GSM or through Wi-Fi or through any IoT platform. So this is where Zigbee is used in outdoor application, but also in indoor, Zigbee is widely used, and also Bluetooth is used, and also Wi-Fi is used. So after Bluetooth, Zigbee is also playing major role in communication technologies. But however, we always need to consider one thing. Either we have to provide a end-to-end solution based on Zigbee, or we have to depend on other technologies. For example, the sensor or modules is equipped with a Zigbee chipset, but however, for the end application, I should reach that application through IoT or Wi-Fi or other gateways. Then I have to do the interoperability integration with those gateways. So there is a lot of work when you are talking about multi-technologies involving together with Zigbee. And the same applies for Bluetooth also. In the same scenario for Bluetooth also, if the Bluetooth is connecting to any third-party gateway, then this gateway need to do the interoperability of these sensors and transfer the data to the central platform. And the third is Wi-Fi. So even in Wi-Fi, we have different channels, like single channel 2.4, dual channel 2.4, 5 gigahertz, because depending on the type of channel, the bandwidth of that device will vary. For example, for 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, the bandwidth is very minimal. But however, for 5 gigahertz, the bandwidth is higher, but the range is smaller. Because based on the communication technology, we can always understand one thing. The lower the frequency, the higher the coverage. But whenever we see the lower the frequency, the bandwidth is also minimal. But when we see higher the frequency, the lower the coverage. But with the higher the frequency, the bandwidth achieved is also higher. So to satisfy the needs of coverage, to satisfy the needs of bandwidth, we always need to do a smart role in this one, depending on, for example, if I'm going to implement 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi solution that covers only 10 meters, then it is very limited, but the bandwidth capacity is higher. But however, even using 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi G standard, we can achieve 54 megabits and reaching 140 meters range, 140 meters coverage range. But however, if we are looking for further beyond 140 meters with higher capacity, then we can go with Wi-Fi N standard. So even this Wi-Fi standards will help us in broadband scenarios and broadband concepts. But however, for Bluetooth and Zigbee, they are mostly used in narrowband scenarios. So only collecting the data of the sensors and pushing the data to the central platform. But however, with Wi-Fi, we can work on broadband solutions. We can work on narrowband solutions also. So this is the advantage of choosing Wi-Fi solutions. And also Wi-Fi has another advantage. The thing is, like, whenever we see most of the urban cities, most of the homes, they are connected with fiber network. So if most of the homes are connected with fiber network, smart home applications will be in a major requirements where they don't need to implement any third-party gateway, or they don't need to buy any sensors that are not supporting Wi-Fi. They can simply buy Wi-Fi sensors and Wi-Fi cameras. They can connect it to their existing Wi-Fi infrastructure with fiber network, and whatever smart home applications they want to use, they can run on Wi-Fi. So this is the advantage of going with Wi-Fi technologies. So even not only for the module, but also for the complete end-to-end platform, Wi-Fi will be the best suitable scenario for smart homes, smart enterprise, smart industries, and several other applications. Mostly this can be beneficial for in-building applications, but for outdoor scenarios with outdoor Wi-Fi repeaters, you can only propose some security solutions like CCTV monitoring, or providing Wi-Fi to the people in some bus stations, or some certain of selected areas. So this is where you can go with outdoor Wi-Fi or long coverage Wi-Fi. Even with shopping malls, you can provide Wi-Fi coverage for Wi-Fi network. So people, whoever want to access Wi-Fi, so the shopping mall and showrooms, they can advertise, broadcast latest offers, and push notifications and messages to people who are connecting to the certain Wi-Fis. So there are different scenarios. In some developed countries, people are using it for public safety, people are using it for smart home applications, and some people are using it to generate revenue out of advertisements. So it depends on different scenarios. So using this Wi-Fi technology, you can achieve different kinds of concepts and requirements. And then here is an example of integrated concept with Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and Zigbee. So when we see smart home, so basically smart home has many kind of different vertical requirements. So considering CCTV camera, health and wellness, energy management, temperature control, alert system, lighting management, smart access control, elderly care. So these are different kind of needs that a smart home requires. And using certain technology or multiple technologies, you can provide multiple scenario, multiple solutions. For example, surveillance. So with surveillance, you can provide Wi-Fi camera inside your home, and also you can provide outdoor camera with Wi-Fi or connecting to Ethernet to the Wi-Fi repeater or Wi-Fi router. And then health and wellness, for example, you might have some health tracking devices. So even you can track your health using those devices, and even elderly people inside your home, they can do regular checkups using these devices. So whenever these devices are used, so the data will be pushed to the healthcare platform. So if needed any assistance from the doctors or healthcare personnel, then immediately they will receive alarm, and they will contact these people to provide guidance or taking measures. And then energy management. Energy management is something that always home need to consider, because excess usage of energy will lead to excess billing. So this is where using smart solutions, you can see the occupancy of people. So depending on occupancy of people, you can turn on the light, turn off the light. And even during summers, If the room temperature gets higher, more than 25 degrees, then immediately these smart platform will push a notification to the air conditioning to turn it on. And if the temperature goes below 18, then it will platform will push a notification to the air conditioning to turn it off. So the threshold temperature can be set, but also for the energy management, there is another advantage. So it can monitor the energy consumption of each and every utility available inside the home. So based on that, you can see which electric module is consuming more power, or do you need to upgrade these electric module to advanced version, so the power consumption will be lower and efficiency will be higher. And elderly care, so if you have elderly people in your home, so you can have different kinds of cameras or sensors, so depending even healthcare badges, so depending on the type of alarm, it will trigger and push to the whoever is responsible to take care of this elderly person, and this is what will happen. And smart entertainment. Smart entertainment means like whenever you are in your hall, so automatically the TV should turn on. You can define these roles. You can define classifications of whether you have to play play music, or whether you have to watch TV. And if you're not inside the room, maybe the moment you leave that room, the TV will be turned off, or if there is no occupancy in the room, the TV will be turned off, the air conditioning will be turned off, and also the music will be turned off. So these kind of different concepts and methodologies you can come up, because in India, it's not only that you have to target everyone, but at least you can target some high level customers where they can choose these kind of options in their package. So under smart home, you can propose many different kinds of vertical, and packaging them together can also be a good benefit, but providing a standalone solution can also be a good offer. But however, you have to build one platform that will support multiple verticals and multiple applications. So this is where smart home will play a major role for all these short range communication technologies. So now we go with long range communication solutions. So in long range, there are two standards. One is 3GPP and another is non 3GPP. So when we see 3GPP, mostly 3GPP technologies, communication technologies are cellular technologies. So when we see cellular technologies, 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, and the future is 5G. So based on different technology, the application and the requirements and needs has enhanced. For example, in 1G it was only used for voice call, but 2G voice and SMS messages, simple data. But in 3G we used to have internet services, and we used to share videos, images, SMS, mobile, voice calls, voicemail, all these services. But in 4G, it was like live broadcasting. It was faster than 3G with higher bandwidth capacity, and the future is 5G. So where in 5G it says like every user can at least get 1 Gbps of speed. So every user will can satisfy its needs. But however, for 5G, I will explain in coming slides about more benefits and advantages. But here, for cellular technologies, we can see there are only 4 companies around the world who provide all these cellular technologies: Ericsson, Huawei, Nokia, and ZTE. So Ericsson is from Sweden, and Nokia is from Finland, but Huawei and ZTE are from China. So these are the 4 vendors that are providing these telecommunication technologies. But however, for 5G, the case is different. So even not only these companies that are working on 5G technologies, but also any third-party company or any small electronic company can also develop 5G technology, because they use unified international standards, and it's not a must that they should only have some certain facilities to manufacture 5G. Even some companies like Samsung is developing 5G technology equipment, outdoor 5G solution equipment, and also Rakuten, they are also doing 5G. Even Cisco, they are also working on 5G. Even Qualcomm, they are coming up with 5G. So it's not a must that only these 4 vendors, they should work on all the future technology. But however, when it comes for 5G or 6G or 7G, we hope that there will be more offered solution providers. So this is where it will benefit people. For example, if it is limited by only few vendors, then the demand will be very higher and the cost will be very higher. But however, the more number of vendors, if they are manufacturing these kind of advanced technologies, then the flexibility of using or deploying these kind of technologies will be very faster. But however, at this moment, even in India, it is a pre-initiative in India that some of the operators, they are launching 5G as a pilot project. So in this pilot project, they will only cover few certain areas rather than the whole city, only like few important areas to do the prototype and testing of 5G applications. So going forward to 5G, so the benefits of 5G is compared to 4G, it provides 1000 times mobile data value, more than 1000 times more than 4G. And also it can connect 10 times to 100 times connected devices. Because 4G has limited bandwidth and this bandwidth can only satisfy the mobile users. But however, if more IoT applications are used based on 4G, then there will be a lot of traffic congestion. So because of traffic congestion, the quality of service provided for each user will be very less. So this will also play a very drawback role for providing quality of services to its users. But however, for 5G, because of its higher capacity, it says like we can connect more than 100 times of devices that are supporting upon 4G. And also the latency is five times lower. So all the devices are quickly connected, and then the handover will be happening quickly, and also reachability for these devices is very quick. And end user data rates also increase 10 to 100 times compared to 4G. And the battery life for low power devices has increased 10 times lower than the 4G supported devices. So this is where is the benefit. But however, in the next slide, you can see here some of the detailed 5G IoT cases. So for example, using 5G, you can do very easily, network slicing can be easily done. So the SLAs, quality, differentiated liabilities will be shared for certain verticals or certain applications or certain users. Then the battery life is also enhanced. So whichever modules or sensors that we are using that supports 5G as IoT, the battery life is also enhanced. And these 5G can also be deployed in multiple small cells. For example, once you deploy a 4G network, so it will provide certain coverage. But the main drawback of 5G is it doesn't provide larger coverage. That is the main drawback of 5G. But however, when we see the capacity, in terms of capacity, it provides very high bandwidth. But the main drawback is the coverage area. So how we can benefit through 5G to provide coverage is deploying small cells. So in case if these operators, they want to deploy a full-scale 5G, then they cannot deploy 5G on the same tower that is installed with 4G. They can install the same 5G on the same 4G tower, but the thing is, the coverage will be very limited. So the people who are far away, like more than 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers, they cannot receive 5G signal, but for 5G signal. But however, to provide 5G network coverage, so there should be another small cell that needs to be implemented. And also to implement 5G, we don't need huge tower infrastructure or huge power requirements. This is something like a outdoor Wi-Fi repeater, outdoor Wi-Fi repeater that consumes less power and also can be easily installed on any pole, any normal electric pole, it can be installed. But it should be fully equipped with outdoor cabinet, and IP rating should also need to be considered if we are installing it in fully rugged outdoor. So this is the thing. And also 5G, as per the 5G technology developments, this 5G is coming up with different frequency considerations, not only with the higher frequency range like 3.4 to 3.6, but also recently some vendors, they did some prototypes for lower frequency from 700 megahertz, and also they are trying to use the existing 2G frequencies that can allocate the frequency requirements for the operators to deploy rather than going with a new frequency and paying extra amount to the ministries of communication. So they can use the existing frequencies whichever they have. So rather than implementing it in a new frequency, if they roll out with the existing frequency, that will save a lot of investment for the operator. But however, the other investments they need to do is for enhancing the coverage through small cells. And also here we can see like what kind of things we can do on 5G is providing ultra HD and cloud computing, where the speed is 10 times more than the LTE, and then latency is also reduced. So this will help in auto driving, autonomous vehicles, and also the machineries, industries, everything can be automatized. And